Time once again for On Point Live with Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater. This is a show that breaks it all down, behind the scenes information, things which you don't hear on regular sports talk shows, and we always stay on point when we get going on these topics over here. I'm Michael Horn. Corey Marino's producing today's show. Want to remind you we're brought to you by Harmony Cheese. Go to their website, harmonycheese.com. The greatest cheese from the heart of the Midwest. It's been cold. The cows are happy. They were kept warm with blankets. I'm telling you, they're ready to go and bring you more great Harmony cheese. By the way, when you go to their website, and they got all sorts of great cheeses, we'll talk about that on the show today, harmonycheese.com. When you check out, mention CRN Talk. That's our major network, CRN Championship Radio Network, CRN Talk, and tell them you get 10% off if you put that in there when you go to check out. All right, here are the stars of our show. Come on, let's get right to it here. The greatest quarterback in the history of my mind, I'm telling you, number 15, the one and only Vince Ferragamo of the Los Angeles Rams. Welcome, Vince.
Hey, Michael, it's good to be on the show.
And the Energizer Bunny, this guy playing one of the great offensive linemen of all time, Hall of Famer Jackie Slater, my favorite, number 78. Jackie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mike, and I hope you're doing better. Vince and I have been talking about you here. We're wanting you to get back in studio with us, share this huge stage that we have here.
I'm working my way back into that studio, let me tell you.
Good.
That's the way to go about it. Now, we got a lot to talk about, guys, because some say football is gone, but I'm telling you, March Madness is creeping its easy head up around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Baseball season is starting. There's still some trades and signings that haven't been done yet. What are we doing here, Jackie Slater? Are we looking at basketball? Is that number one right now?
Basketball's got to be number one. Everybody in the country is filling out their lineups and picking their winners, and a lot of people being very disappointed. We got some surprises. People popping up.
Well, just look at him, Mike. Does he look like he's healthy, man? He got beat up all week this week. Coaching Brandon Walton, man. I'm telling you what, Jack. He kind of put you through the ringer, didn't he?
He's a 335-pound guy at 27 years old. He doesn't know how strong he is to this day. It was an amazing
And our
week.
flag football camp went great. Our clinic, it's doing awesome, Mike. Teaching a lot of kids how to play the game.
Vince Ferragamo teaches the flag football in the clinic. Yeah. Jackie Slater helps a lot of professional athletes, and we tell you all about it right here on Point Live. Get to our website, onpointlive.net, onpointlive.net. That is our main website. Check us out on YouTube, On Point Live with Vince and Jackie, harmonycheese.com. We'll be back. Welcome back here to On Point Live. I'm Michael Horn with the stars of our show, Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater, both former Rams. Vince played around the league a little bit. He was with Green Bay. It's with Buffalo. He was in Canada. This guy has had a great, storied, wonderful career, and Jackie, Hall of Famer himself. Now, before we get into basketball, we usually at the beginning of the show talk about what you did this week, and you guys kind of touched at the end of the Open. Vince, you've got flag football in progress right now. Can people get involved in that?
Well, we do. We have a lot of young kids. We got pre-high schoolers, and some high school kids show up at at Santiago Canyon College there in Orange County, and we work with a lot of kids, specifically just working on mental preparation and also route development, throwing, catching, just the skills, the fundamental skills that are required to play football or play any kind of sport.
So you catch them kind of young. Jackie Slater, you wait till they get a little older so they can kind of take you on and you can show them what it's like and how to do it, because you still got it. You still bring it to the field all the time. You got your organization there that we talk about here on the show where you coach them and get them in shape. Who are you working on?
Well, I had big Brandon Walden in town this past week, and he's about 6'5", he weighs about 335 pounds, and still doesn't know how quick he is or how strong. And just going over some basic techniques. Playing in the offensive line is a very technical position, and there's so many different things you have to learn and tie together to do your job. half of the time you're going straight ahead as hard as you can go. The rest of the times you're going backwards as quickly as you can, and then stopping not only your weight, but the weight of another 300-pound man that's trying to get to your quarterback. So there's a measurable amount of skill that goes into learning these things and then being able to apply them in games where the people consider you a competent blocker, both in the run and in the pass game. And that's what I tried to do the 20 years that I played. And so I see a lot of people, struggling with some of the basic things, and I've come up with a plan to kind of simplify it and give guys a lot more confidence as they go about this very difficult chore of blocking some of the best big athletes in the world.
How do people get in touch with you? If they've pros get in touch with you, I know people coming up trying to make the pros. Where do they get in touch with you?
Well, we have a website. They can reach out to me at the website, and we have a phone number and everything. It's just we got it posted on the site here. They can go to our site here from the podcast and get all the information they needed. We advertise on the radio as we do our podcast. So there are a lot of opportunities to find out about what I'm doing. Most of it is by word of mouth, however.
They can go to our main website and go to OnPoint at crntalk.com. OnPoint, the name of our show, by the way. OnPoint at CRN, Championship Radio Network, crntalk.com. OnPoint at crntalk.com. Vince, how do they get in touch with you, flag football?
Well, they can look up at the Ferragamo Flag Football League website at ferragamoffl.com and get information. And they go to Santiago Canyon College website, and we're right on the list of subjects and things that if you want to participate, you can sign right up there online. So it's pretty easy. But I was so impressed with Jackie, though, because some of these guys going through the motions, when he's coaching them, and the mental process, the strategy, and the systematic symbols that they have to analyze their play. I mean, they're doing it, but they can't explain why or how they did it. But Jackie runs them through the entire system, and then they can evaluate their performance. They know what they need to improve on, and that's how they get better.
Both of you guys, let's say, are not spring chickens anymore, but you're in great shape. Let me ask you, Jackie Slater, a question that I asked the legendary Maury Wills of the Dodgers upon his entering a playoff game at Anaheim Stadium where the idiot at the gate didn't know who the hell he was. I said, Maury, hand the phone to him. Let me tell him who you are. And I said, Maury, I bet you watch these guys play and you say to yourself, I could play that position better. So let me ask you, Jackie Slater, you're a little older than a lot of the people you help. You still think you can bring it? You still seem to show it? You still seem to be there for it? I mean, once you have that confidence, is it there for life?
Your mind says one thing, but your body says
your
something
body's
else,
saying
man.
a different thing. Well,
Really?
it's funny that you would ask that. Did you make that ask that question? Because I can still demonstrate the skills that I feel like anybody should acquire, and I can tell them and teach them how to say it. You see, I believe basically the two things that a good offensive lineman must be able to do is he must be able to move laterally with great efficiency, and that pure lateral movement starts or emanates from a position of having your feet perfectly parallel with an uncomfortably wide base, and then the mechanics involve moving your back foot first while working to eliminate residual body movement. Now, I can share that with a guy, and the first time he hears it, he's going to struggle with it. But if I have him to write it down every single time he leaves me, and when he comes back, I repeat it to him over 4 or 5 different times, eventually he's going to get that, be able to say it, and then when he leaves me, he'll know how to practice it. So that's the way I do with all the skills that I teach, all the pass blocking skills. It's a simplified, you put a simplified verbiage where they can learn the verbiage as they're learning the movement, and then it makes the learning a little bit easier. Guys really grow, and then they go on to try to be teachers, many of them.
Jackie Slater, you said something that caught my ear. You said you got to know how to go as fast as you can forward, and then at the same time stop and go as fast as you can backward. Let me ask you this. If I had a Volkswagen at 1 mile an hour, you think you could hold that Volkswagen there at 1 mile an hour?
Going downhill or on a
Going
level
backwards.
surface?
Going backwards.
Going downhill, going backwards?
Yeah.
Probably not very long now.
But you could for a while, I'll bet, right?
But I could for a while, and that would have to do with the second skill that I teach offensive linemen, and that is you have to learn how to use a natural God-given mechanic that God gave us to keep from falling on the back of our heads if somebody shoves us in the chest.
You got it.
You use that mechanic, and then you'd give ground grudgingly, without compromising your ability to move either back into the line of scrimmage with power, back out of the line of scrimmage with efficiency of movement. You just have to take that mechanic, God-given body mechanic, harness it, and use it for your advantage.
Vince Ferragamo, that same Volkswagen, maybe up around 15 miles an hour coming at you.
Throw it.
Would you be able to get that ball, move, and snap that ball out to someone to catch it and then just jump out of the way?
Well, Vince can still throw.
You got to roll down the window, see if you can throw it through the window on a moving
come
pattern.
on.
See, because you got to lead the car, but you got to know how fast they're going.
Got to know how fast they're
That's
going.
why
You've
you
done
got
that before, right? You've thrown it through the window of a car.
All different times.
I'll
different
bet.
types.
On David Letterman's show, have you done that?
I
We used to do that all the time.
No, that
buddy.
would have been outside, Mike.
That would have been outside. Okay. All right, let's get into it. March Madness, Vince. What do we got here?
Wow, we have the Sweet 16. I mean, in men's basketball, I mean, it's amazing to look at coaches that are still coaching and having the success, like Rick Pitino, and you see Tom Izzo with Michigan State and St. Mary's. I mean, this is a team with for example, St. John's, not St. Mary's, St. John's, I'm sorry, that they have 5 different NIL players on their team because he just moved 2 years ago to this university. So he's building this program. He's got to attract great athletes, and they're doing it. And this is very common now that we see. But you know what, Jackie? There's no Cinderella teams anymore.
No Cinderella
All
team.
these are matched up.
Do you think it
really
has
well. They
to
have
do
good
with
players.
the NIL money, Vince?
Well,
We were looking at
maybe
this.
some of
Corey,
it.
can you put that sheet up that we were looking at earlier? Of all the teams that are in the playoffs, in the finals, in the 16, and all that, all of these teams have at least. There are only like 3 or 4 teams. If you look at this chart right here, you'll see like on the far left, that's the Michigan State Spartans right there.
Everybody just
All 5 of their
Same
starters were on this team a year ago. And then you look at Purdue right next to them. 4 of their starters were there a year ago. And we don't know where the other guy came from. So if you look down the list, you'll see, and some of the teams that are still playing, Vince, they have 5 starters that were at different programs when they started their college career.
Yeah.
This right here is a prime example of what the NIL money is doing to college sports, in particular college basketball.
Michigan, Texas, and St.
Image
John's.
and likeness is killing the game. That's it. They're getting
There's
paid
no
for
doubt
it.
about it.
Being trained. They're at school, for God's sakes. What are your thoughts on that? Give us call us, or better yet, email us onpoint@crntalk.com. That's onpoint@crntalk.com. Don't forget to check out our website, onpointlive.net. Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater return. Welcome back to On Point Live, brought to you by March Madness. Hey, I'm talking about Harmony Cheese. They are mad during the month of March if you don't buy their cheese. They're crazed. They have the best deals on cheese right now. You don't want Harmony Cheese angered with you for not buying it during all these games that are coming up. Plus, you got NBA basketball going on. You got hockey going on. Baseball starting out. People still looking at football. They're looking at reels and things of that nature. Get your Harmony Cheese while the getting is good. HarmonyCheese.com. Mention CRN Talk when you check out. 10% off. What do you always say when you buy your Harmony Cheese, Jackie Slater?
I would say is thank you very much for carrying it in your store, because I really enjoy this. I encourage people at the market to carry Harmony Cheese. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. There's
But
so
if
many
they
different
don't, Vince,
varieties.
you like to go right online, don't you?
Yeah.
You can buy them online.
You can-
CRN Talk and get your discount. And man,
As
if
for
you gotta,
Miss Bree, will take care of you every time.
oh yeah, it's good stuff.
They even have somebody named Miss Bree, if you can believe it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get going here, Vince. Let's go take a look at some of the teams. Who do you like? Men's March Madness.
Well, it's breaking them down, Michael. There are so many keys to look at this. Coaching and talent and But when you look at some of these great teams, you cannot help overlook Duke and Arizona, in the West and in the East. And then you have other teams like UConn is going to play Michigan State, and that's going to be a tough game. So I would probably have to say UConn, maybe Purdue to win that one. And then in the South and the Midwest, you've got Nebraska. Did you see that game last week against Vanderbilt?
I watched.
So my daughter Vanessa went to Vanderbilt.
I know.
And we have to have Candace Story, the athletic director. She played basketball with Vanessa back in the day, but as a guest. But we looked at that game, and Tyler Tanner, Jackie, with 2 seconds left, grabbed the ball at midcourt and launched a ball towards the basket. Everybody just stopped, froze in a second, and just lost their breath. And the ball was going to be in. It went in and out and came out. Nebraska wins the game, and there were so many fans going crazy there for Nebraska. They really followed their team well, so they ended up moving on. So Nebraska will play. They'll play a tough game. They'll have
Iowa.
Yeah. I like Nebraska. I'm going to pull for my home team. And Houston's another
Nebraska
good team.
too.
Michigan, Iowa State. They're all good
I really
teams.
like Michigan. And, Vince, whenever I watch the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 and all of that, whenever I watch these teams, because when I played basketball, I had it drilled in me over and over and over and over again, hit the boards. Get down, don't walk down court, rush down court either side, and be ready to get the rebounds. Offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding is an art form. It just doesn't happen because you're tall guy. You got to get position on people. You got to make sure you're blocking them out, and you can't stay in the key for that 3 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to get called for being down there too long. So the art of rebounding the basketball, to me, when we get into these tournaments, when we get into the tournaments like this, it is a key thing. And you look at the guys that you think they're all 7 feet tall and everybody should be dominating the board simply because of their height. That's not the way it works. You got some of the best rebounders in this tournament that are 6'7", 6'8", and it's because they got great quickness, they get in position, they know how to box out, and they hit those boards. And because they aren't so big, they can cover the floor really quickly and rebound offensively, rebound defensively. So for me, I love to see guys hit the boards, the big guys hit the boards and battle for position against the board. And it always, if you look at it, time in and time out, you're going to see where the best rebounding teams are always in the thick of the game and having a chance to win it at the end.
All right. We kind of mentioned we like Nebraska over Iowa. Jackie, what about Alabama over Michigan? What do you think is going on?
I like Michigan. I said that last week. There's nothing about them that I don't like. They dominate inside with their size. They protect the rim. They just do everything right. And I just can't see Alabama beating them. I know they can shoot the ball from the 3-point, and that's good. That's an art form. That's a unique opportunity to put points on the board if you got guys that are dead accurate from the outside. But you also got to remember that's a low percentage shot for the most part. And that ball's coming off the boards and they're rebounding. They're not rebounding, then they're going to probably lose the game. So here again, it goes back to rebounding to me. In every one of these matchups, when I look at them, I want the team that's doing the best rebounding, hitting the boards on both sides. Those are the teams that I have a tendency to, want to see win.
Yeah, when I think of those big guys, when you talk about like Duke, for example, you got Cameron Boozer. His dad, Carlos Boozer, was a player. And then they've got their twins playing, him and Caden Boozer. Jackie, they're strong against the boards, but I think that the teams that are well-rounded, Mike, and then have the makeup, the players, how they carry themselves on the court. They're just at ease. They're confident. They're not showmans. They know how to take care of the football, and they're good leaders and resilient. Those are the kind of players I look at. I look at their mentality, their aptitude, and how they perform from week to week. And this game comes down to the last few seconds of a game. Can I make that drive to the basket?
In many cases.
In agreement with us on our picks so far? Purdue over Texas, Nebraska over Iowa, Michigan over Alabama, and Duke over St. John's?
I have St. John's winning.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
What
I
about
like
Michigan?
Michigan.
What about Michigan?
I have Michigan winning as well.
Okay.
And then
Arizona? Yeah, we haven't talked about Arizona.
We didn't. We didn't.
Arizona. Yeah, the Wildcats.
One of the best rebounding teams ever.
That's right. That's right.
And offensive board.
One of our fans in the stands, ladies and gentlemen, who had a smart microphone with him. I can't believe he did that.
Bring me on set.
Yeah. No.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's your final 8 right there. We got the final 8 broken down already. So. we'll have to
So
wait.
goodbye to Arkansas on that. Everybody in agreement over Arizona?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
Arizona
think so.
is the cream of the crop. I think they're going to be.
Houston
Final
over
Four.
Illinois?
Houston, I like a lot.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Houston.
I do too.
I do.
Anybody, how about Michigan State and UConn?
Michigan State.
Yep, me
UConn.
too.
Yeah, I think I like UConn
So,
over Michigan State.
Tom Izzo is.
They're locked in defensively, especially that Jeremy Fears Jr. That kid, he can play some defense, man.
Well, we know
They got a
he fears
balanced
Junior.
scoring attack. I like them.
Jeremy fears, we know he fears Junior, but will he fear Michigan State? I don't know. Corey, your pick on the Michigan State UConn game.
I'm taking Michigan State and the coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom
Tennessee,
Izzo.
Iowa
Yeah.
State. Anybody see some
I like
really-
Iowa State. I like
That's the
Iowa
one I
State. in that
circled
one.
as
The
well.
Cyclones.
Well, they force a lot of turnovers, Vince. And they push the pace. And what's that guy's name? Tammy Lipsy. He's a playmaker. There's no doubt about it. He is a real playmaker. Tamin, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. He sets guys up, gets the ball, does a great job passing, regardless of where their guys are located. He can get the ball in their hands. Especially underneath. He's going to get the ball to the open guys under the hoop.
It
I
would
like
be
that.
remiss if we didn't talk about the women's basketball.
Yeah, let's get into that. What do you got?
Man, I'm telling you.
What do
Well,
got,
you know, I was a big fan because my daughter played basketball, but I have to break it down to the 4 top teams. Really do. I got to
Okay.
say, UConn, South Carolina, because they have Dawn Staley, but UConn has a girl by the name of Assie Fudd
What about Texas?
and Sarah Strong.
Assy Fudd.
Fudd. Yeah, she can hit from the outside. She's good.
That's
UCLA
Elmer's
has
kid,
Lauren
isn't it?
Betts. All right. I don't know why I know more of the girls basketball guys in the back
Yeah,
than the
because
boys.
your daughter
but-
played
well,
big-time
I
college
don't-
basketball. That's
it's
why.
very interesting.
Aussie or Aussie?
Ozzy Fudd.
Ozzy.
I'm sorry, Ozzy Fudd.
Your daughter played big-time college
Yeah.
basketball, and now one of her teammates is the head coach. So what is
She's the athletic director.
She's athletic
Candace
director,
Story.
okay.
Yeah,
Moved
we're
up
going to have
here.
her on the
She's-
show. Yeah,
she
they're
moved
turning
up.
it around. They did good in basketball. They did good in football this past year. So
So Vince, since I know you watch the girls, this
Yeah.
is my take. I like UCLA, I like UConn, South Carolina, and Texas. How do
okay,
you like
but
those?
the wild horse is TCU. Okay,
Okay.
because they got a girl, Jackie. She wears glasses. She's a point guard.
Little
She
bitty-
distributes the
Is
ball.
she a
like you
little
wouldn't-
bitty,
Yeah, her
point
name is
guard? Yeah.
Olivia Miles. Okay,
Yes.
and she's fast. She's
Quick.
unstoppable.
She's quick.
She's quick. She distributes the ball, and if she has to make a layup, she's going to go for it.
And what
She's
team
gonna
is she on?
She's on TCU. I
Yeah.
mean, that's something else. And then don't forget Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's got an outside shot too. Michaela Blake's. I mean, they're playing some good basketball, so we'll see.
They really
It's gonna
are.
be fun.
Isn't it fun seeing the girls
really
get
fun.
some of the
Yeah.
attention that they're getting? You know,
Well-
the girls, and they deserve it,
Well,
man,
you
because
saw Juju
they are
Watkins?
very highly skilled.
What's Juju Watkins doing now? She's producing a
Yeah,
shoe
she's
product.
coming in on the LeBron's
Okay.
next generation shoe company,
yeah.
and she's going to have a unique shoe. I think this is the first woman to design a specialty basketball shoe, and you know a lot of girls are looking forward to it coming out. This is a great opportunity.
It is a
for
good
her
opportunity for
and
them.
for girl basketball.
pretty smart of
Women's
them.
sports in general.
Yeah, so we'll see
They
what
got
happens.
anything in a fallen arch? That's what I need in my shoes.
You, we
prop
had to get
things
you
up
an
in
arch support.
Yeah,
we had
that's
to get
what I
you an
need.
arch support. We had to send you to the Good Feet store.
I used to go. I always voted for Dr. Scholes to win the event, as long as his team had those metal clasps there on the inside.
Right.
That's a really good deal there. All right, so we got some good basketball here to watch as well too. In the meantime, the pros keep churning on and on. We got spring training coming your way. We'll take a look at that, and we got some. We got some contracts and extensions and things we have to look at at the NFL. So we're going to take a quick break, and when
One
we
in
come back,
particular.
let's take a look and see what the heck's going on. Some of these may take some time, and I'm saying, don't waste your time on this. You know, the training camp comes up pretty good, and then a weird rule about how many games you're going to be allowed to play in the NFL.
Man.
That is, oh boy.
Yeah.
Jackie is really upset about this one, let me tell you.
I don't
More
know about
games?
this one.
All right.
It's all coming up on
All,
Point Live.
all the body need is one more NFL game.
That's it, just one more. You played all the other ones, am I right?
That's it.
One more.
Yeah.
Play those,
Why not
one
play
more, you
20?
toss it in. Check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe to On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. Don't forget HarmonyCheese.com, our sponsor. Mention CRN Talk on the way out. Get 10% off first order. HarmonyCheese.com and email us onpoint@crntalk.com. Welcome back to On Point Live. Brought to you by HarmonyCheese.com, your place to go for cheeses for all items, backyard barbecues, home charcuterie trays, sandwiches, main course meals. You name it, Harmony Cheese has it for you. Check it out. They'll mail it right to your door. HarmonyCheese.com. Mention CRN Talk when you check out. 10% off your very first order. HarmonyCheese.com. HarmonyCheese cheese.com. All right, let's take a look at some of these contracts coming up. I think, Jackie, you were complaining during the break here. This Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's
Wait a
got a
minute.
4-year deal
I
coming
wasn't
up.
complaining, Mike.
You
I
were
wasn't
counting down
complaining. I was
$10,000
rejoicing.
a minute. $10,000 a minute he's going to make.
Mike,
Give us the background on
I
it.
was simply rejoicing in the young man's good fortune. It's
Okay.
always for us older guys that missed all of these opportunities, and knowing that we on our backs they're making the monies that they're making now. They're playing under safer rules than we had to play under. It's always refreshing to see, because we may have grandchildren who might participate in the National Football League as players and competitors one of these days. And I like the thought of having a grandson that would participate in the NFL and be making somewhere in the neighborhood of $4,800 per hour.
Exactly.
How about $115,000 a week?
$150,000 a week. I mean, this is absolutely amazing, and I'm sure the young man is elated with this new contract. We're talking about the wide receiver up in Seattle, Jackson Smith-Njigba. He signed a 4-year, $168.6 million extension. That included a $35 million signing bonus. 69.13 is fully guaranteed, and then he has an injury guarantee for $120 million. This young man is very fortunate. Now, he has earned every single penny, every single cent that he has made, he has earned, and it only makes me sit and wonder in a great deal of amazement as to what Puka Nakua's contract is going to be.
Well,
Yes,
that's
Puka
another
Nacua-
story.
Puka Nakua's contract is it's got to be bigger than this one, Vince.
Well, JSN has become the highest paid receiver in football. And you know what all
In
that
history of
all
football.
that broken down is, you know how much money a year that is? $42.15 million per year for 4 years, Jackie. Yes, he deserves it. Because if there's any player out there that you want to throw to as a quarterback, that would be JSN.
Vince, can I just add one little tidbit?
Yes.
How much is he making per season?
$42.15 million
That's for him. Only.
for him.
Saquon Barkley and Kittle
Combined.
are going to make $39,700,000.
Yeah.
That just tells you, it speaks volumes for the amount of importance that the wide receiver position has garnered in the National Football League nowadays. And it also speaks volumes for how little emphasis is placed on the running back position. I mean, we're talking about Saquon Barkley. We're talking about a guy that ran for 2,000 yards a couple of years ago. And then we also have, several other good backs that are out there. He's going to make more money than all of these guys. And it makes you wonder, why is it that, you have this much variance in these positions like that? Because they all are very, very important. But this guy is a guy that you and I watched get open in some of the most difficult situations for a wide receiver to get open in. And you talked about how nifty he was and everything. You just went on and on and on about throwing him the football. And I
Thanks
began
a
to
lot,
watch it and
Vince.
see that he's an amazing, amazing player.
And the guy that was thrown to him, Michael, becomes the MVP of Super Bowl 60. Okay.
So he makes this guy look like an
yeah,
MVP.
he makes him look good. But
Makes him look good.
But they're both good. Okay, they had great coaching. And I think when you analyze guys like Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle combined, he makes more than both. But, that's just the way it goes. I mean, that's this year. Next year, if George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey go to the Super Bowl, maybe they will produce big rewards for them as well.
Vince,
So,
this is fine. I'm happy for him.
yeah.
Where are they getting this money to keep
Okay.
increasing it?
Well, they're
what's
getting it from the
happening to
TV
game?
revenue. Mike, that's a great question.
When does that end? When does that TV revenue
Well,
end?
they're,
We say,
they're
forget
talking
it.
about negotiating new contracts with Paramount and other networks, okay, which is going to produce a lot more income. And you know what's next on the horizon in the NFL?
What?
An 18-game schedule. Now, I don't believe
I've heard
in
about
lengthening
this.
the season.
And
I don't believe in it. But if they're talking money to afford these salaries, that's their objective. They still have to make a lot more money.
Well,
the
Vince,
owners.
I don't know that the players are obligated to go to an 18-game schedule. I remember someone saying the moment that they signed the 17-game schedule, the NFL started working on the 18-game schedule. But why would they do that? They've already agreed to a certain amount, a percentage of the gross revenues. And so with the NFL talking to Paramount right now, that's obviously wanting to increase their revenues. And the quickest way to do that is to give these broadcasting entities another nationally televised opportunity to make more money.
Yeah.
And as they make more money, it should be trickled down to the players as well. But the problem is now football is a very physically demanding game, and you're asking these young physical athletes who are making a lot of money, you're asking them to put their bodies through the ringers for another week. And I can't see it happening, to be perfectly honest with you, unless, of course, there's some sort of an agreement that gives the players maybe an opportunity to opt out of one of those games over that 18-week
Opt
period
out.
of time. Opt
They're
out.
getting paid- Let me give you some basic numbers here as the team numbers guy. Are you ready?
Okay.
I say, look, let's look at baseball as our model. 162 games in the regular season. You divide that by 7, the amount of games in a week. That's 23.1. I say the NFL should be giving us 23 games a week to make it fair. Oh, yeah, it's much tougher, harder game to play. There's a lot of going forward and backward and upside down and down, but there's a lot more money. I want to see 23 football games.
It ain't going to happen, Mike. It just
23
isn't going to
games.
happen.
That's what I wanna
And
see,
do you know
Jackie.
why? You want me
That's
to tell you why?
40-some teams.
That's absolutely ridiculous what he just said, but he needs to know why it's ridiculous.
It takes
You
time
tell
to
me
recover
why.
from a football
Mike, let
game.
me tell you
it's
something.
a physical game.
Let me tell you something. Some of the best football players in the National Football League are in maybe toward the twilight of their careers, and that's years 6, 7, and 8, right through there somewhere. The average guy only has to play 3.2 years to qualify for a full NFL pension. That tells you that those guys in their careers aren't long. They aren't long careers, and so for you to expect anybody to sign on for an extra NFL game when competition is the number one quality, the number one thing that rushes people in to see our games and watch our game is because of the severe nature of the competition. If you expect people to compete like that week in and week out, and you add another week, 18 weeks, you're barking up the wrong tree, because the physical body was not made to do what we're doing, to be perfectly honest with you, and then you intensify it by adding another game?
It's crazy.
Yes.
Hey,
What
Jackie,
about
Corey
this?
makes the
Let
best
me-
point.
Let me ask this, and then
Yes.
you get to your next point. What if we had one of those games as an old-timers game where you guys could opt in?
Nobody's
make
gonna
some-
watch it.
Nobody's going to watch
Wait
that.
a minute, hear me out. Make some big bucks. We got Ferragamo
minute.
quarterback, Jackie Slater right there on the line.
That'd be
Come
a
on,
sight
Fred
for
Dreyer out
sore
there,
eyes.
talk loud so he can hear you.
That's
And
right.
there you go. We could maybe bring back
It ain't gonna
a
happen,
couple
Mike.
of teams.
Yeah.
I'd go to
How about
it,
we
I'm
just
telling
help promote the games, Mike? That would be better.
Mike, the
That we could
beauty,
we could do that better.
beauty of the game that I love that the National Football League is the top in the world at producing is the competitive individuals in which they feature.
And that's why they watch it.
That's why people watch the game.
That's why they watch it.
Because they want to see, the great quarterbacks making the big time throws against good coverage. They want to see the McDuffies covering up some of the best wide receivers in the game. That competitiveness is what makes the National Football League what it is today, and that's the number one sport in our country and growing around the world.
And Jackie, it's a
Vince,
wide open sport. Michael.
You and Corey had a point. What was that?
Yeah, and Corey made a great point. If you're going to extend the season to 18-game week schedule, you're going to have to incorporate 2 bye weeks. That's going to lengthen the season another week. It's already long as it is. And so maybe they're going to just eliminate all preseason games and go to a 20-game schedule.
I think
I don't
we're
know.
working toward that
I mean,
because remember,
come on, enough is enough.
Remember now, we used to have 6 preseason games where they allowed the players. They thought it was important. They allowed the players that 6 weeks to get their bodies in shape to go a 14-week season.
Now they're cutting it down to 2 weeks.
We're reducing the number of weeks that they're giving us to get ourselves ready to go for a long and extended season.
Right. It's difficult.
It's a very difficult sport. It's getting tougher and tougher to be in it for any length of time. As I said, 3.2 years is the average career that you'll qualify for a pension. That's not very long for a guy who's trying to have a family and raise a family and do the things that he wants to get done on the heels of this profession. That's not very long at all.
And the carrot they're hanging over everybody's head, Jackie, says you only have to play 17 weeks. Well, then make it 17 weeks. I mean, you can play. You don't have to play 18 weeks. That doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't.
It
okay?
doesn't.
If there's a game out there, you want to play the game. If you're a competitor
you want to play.
And you're fired up, you want to play.
Well,
hurt or not.
But not
hurt.
only that, there's the sheer amazement, the sheer appetite that people have for this game is based on the dynamics of the competition.
That's right.
Nobody's going to want to come to no game and see me pussyfooting around with Reggie White or Howie Long.
It's like going to a preseason game. You don't see your stars playing. Play them at least a
I'd
quarter.
be watching that, Jaggy.
Get them out there playing. Get them
ain't
ready.
going to be no pussyfooting around with those men.
No, come on.
Those men came to kill your quarterback, and you better be ready to keep them off.
To
or
defend him.
if you don't keep them off, they won't be looking like Vince. They have a broken nose in 3 places.
Oh, boy.
You got to protect.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
You got to protect these guys.
Hey,
I'm telling you right now.
I agree with that.
All right, what about it's going to take some time, they're saying now, for the Rams to sign Puka Nacua to a contract
Why?
extension. Yeah, that's what I say. Why?
Why do they need any time? The guy is one of the great receivers in football. He had 129 receptions, Jackie, last year. That's almost 8 a week for 1,700, over 1,700 yards and 10 touchdowns.
166 targets.
I mean, this guy is is the epitome of one of the great receivers in the NFL.
Absolutely. There's only been one guy to put up the numbers that he's put up, since he's been in the league in 2023, and that's Jamar Chase over there at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
His numbers speaks volume for himself and his work and what he has gotten done, and what arguably the finest offensive mind in all of pro football, Sean McVay, thinks of Puka Nacua. So
That's right.
When you start looking at this salary right here that the kid has gotten up there, Jackson Smith-Njigba has gotten up there in Seattle, you can top that with what I think Puka Nacua deserves at the Rams. And I think the ownership at the Rams they respect him. They've done a good job over the years lately of paying their people here in Los Angeles. This is the
Except for
shining
Cooper
star.
Kupp.
It's the shining star
They
city
didn't
of the
pay
country.
Cooper Kupp there.
So you got to pay him. You
They
got to pay him.
lost Cooper Kupp, so they better sign Puka, right?
Hey, they signed
Absolutely.
Travis Kelce with Kansas City for 3 years, so they got something going
let's
on
talk
there.
about that when we come back.
Absolutely.
We got a quick break. Come back and we'll wrap things up here. It's On Point Live. Still time for you to get Harmony Cheese at their website, harmonycheese.com. Don't forget, mention CRN Talk when you check out. You will be getting 10% off your order. Check us out on Instagram, on.point.live. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. We'll be up there right after the show. Stay with us. This show has gone lickety-split this week. On Point Live with Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater. Thanks to Corey Marino for producing the show. I'm Michael Horn. But getting back to Vince and Jackie, flag football, this matchup between Team USA and the NFL players, that didn't go quite as expected, did it, Jackie?
No, it didn't.
No, it did not go quite as expected. First of all, when we were talking about this, I told Vince, I said, I can't see NFL players running the risk of getting out there running and diving and catching balls and all of that, trying to dodge people, trying to pull their flags and all of that, and jeopardizing their NFL careers. Well, apparently it wasn't as big of a threat to their health as I thought. It was a threat to their emotional attitudes and their egos.
It's an
Yeah,
embarrassment,
egos.
Jackie. The Fanatics Flag Football Classic, okay,
Unbelievable.
Jackie, the flag team that's going to represent the United States, the USA team, scored every possession they had.
Against the
they
pros.
wiped them out. They
Against
wiped
the
them out.
pro
on every-
players.
They scored twice as many points, Michael. I mean,
Don't,
so it was
totally
unbelievable.
done. You know what? One of the things that then Vince and I coached Little League flag football years and years ago, and one of the things that I can imagine has kicked in with these guys is that the spacing. You can do so
Jackie,
much.
there's 5-on-5
There's
in this
5
flag
on
football
5.
league. Tom Brady wanted to go 7-on-7. Well, that's what we do in the NFL. But
Right.
this is different. You know?
And these bodies are not NFL bodies. A wide receiver in the National Football League look nothing like a good wide receiver in a flag league like this flag. And these guys can change direction, cut on a dime. Quickness is the motto. You don't even play snap in the football in this league unless you're quick. And
Hold on a second there, Jackie. Genius here. You've just expanded the NFL season. We'll throw in a couple of flag football games. What do you think, Vince?
Yeah, let's do it. They got to learn it. If they want to play it, they got to learn it better.
I
gotta
really
learn
thought.
it.
Hey, how about the
better?
WNBA, Michael? We can't
Yeah,
forget about
what
the
do you think?
WNBA. The
Yeah.
MVP, without a doubt, is Victor Wembanyama.
Oh,
as
yeah.
much as we like SGA, okay,
Yeah.
he's awesome. He's been
a big-
great, Jackie, but he believes 50% of his defense, okay? He says they beat OKC 3 out of 4 times, and he says there's more to offense than
What did
just
I tell you,
scoring
Vince?
points.
What
This
did I tell
guy
you?
does it all.
I tell you, it happens in football, it happens in basketball. A
You
good
got
big
it.
man is always better than a good little man.
And it happens better with cheese. Go to harmonycheese.com. Get your cheese for the week. Email us onpoint@crntalk.com. Onpoint@crntalk.com. Thanks to Corey Marino. Thanks to Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater. I'm Michael Horn. Gentlemen, what do we always say?
Stay on
Stay
point.
on point.